Welcome back to our latest episode of ASEAN News. Philippines implements vaccine for children aged 5 to 11.
Thank you.
A COVID-19 vaccination drive for children aged 5 to 11 launches in the Philippine capital, featuring a circus-themed inoculation center complete with stilt walkers and puppeteers. Performers made balloon swords and performers in superhero costumes posed for pictures with kids at the center in Manila. The Philippines Food and Drug Administration has so far only approved a lower dosage of the Pfizer vaccine for use in children. According to the country's health department, the government aims to vaccinate over 15 million children. The inoculation drive will move to other parts of the country outside of Manila. The country has so far fully inoculated about half of its population, but many areas outside the capital region are still lagging far behind, complicating efforts to suppress fresh outbreaks of the virus.
Campaign period for 2022 Philippine presidential elections begins.
Philippines presidential candidates began their 3-month-long campaign to woo voters, making lofty promises to rebuild the shattered economy and uplift the lives of pandemic-weary Filipinos. Ferdinand Marcos Jr., 64, the son and namesake of the country's late dictator, repeated his message of unity, saying that was the first step to overcoming the economic and pandemic crisis. The incumbent president's popular daughter, Davao Mayor Sara Duterte Carpio, who is also leading in the race for vice president, position elected separately from the president. As the main contenders in the race to succeed Rodrigo Duterte battled for votes, a parallel battle was happening online, with their backers taking to Twitter to court more supporters or attack each other, hoping to make their hashtags trend. Apart from Marcos and Robredo, others vying for the presidency including boxing superstar Manny Pacquiao, Manila Mayor Francisco Damagoso, and Senator Panfilo Lacson. Roughly 67.5 million Filipinos are eligible to vote, including 1.7 million overseas, in an election for a president, vice president, about 300 lawmakers, and roughly 18,000 local government positions.
China calls on Singapore to deepen the synergy of development strategies.
Chinese President Xi Jinping calls on China and Singapore to deepen the synergy of development strategies and promote the sound and steady development of bilateral relations in the post-pandemic era. Xi makes the remarks when meeting with the visiting Singaporean President Halimah Yacob to China for the opening ceremony of the Beijing 2022 Olympic Winter Games. Xi affirms the two sides have deepened strategic mutual trust, expanded practical cooperation, and closely integrated development interest. It is all the more important for China and Singapore to develop bilateral ties against the obstacles and show vigor and vitality. China welcomes Singapore to play a bigger role in the dual circulation by relying on the cooperation mechanism established with Chinese provinces and cities. Both sides should work together to ensure the implementation of global development initiatives, uphold equity and justice, and fulfill our responsibilities. Meanwhile, Halimah says Singapore views of the global development initiatives positively and is ready to strengthen cooperation with China in green development and digital economy so as to promote regional integration.
South Korea calls on China to boost exchanges at all levels.
When visiting China, South Korean National Assembly Speaker Park Byung-seok expresses his hope that South Korea and China will increase exchanges at all levels with the opportunity provided by Beijing Winter Olympic Games. The speaker, who arrived in Beijing a day earlier to attend the opening ceremony of the 2022 Winter Olympic Games, made the notion in an interview with China Central Television. China and South Korea will mark the 30th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between the two countries this year. In the interview, Park spoke highly of development of bilateral relations over the past 30 years, expressing the hope for further development of relations between South Korea and China in the future.
South Korea presidential candidate wife apologies ahead of the election.
The wives of South Korea's ruling party presidential candidate and main opposition party candidate have apologized over controversies dodging both women ahead of the March 9 presidential election.
공직자의 배우자로서 모든 점에
Controversies involving family members have been swirling in both of the main candidates' camp in the coming presidential election, that has been dubbed the unlikable election because of the contenders' high disapproval ratings. Kim Hyo-kyung, the wife of the Lee Jae-myung, South Korea's ruling party presidential candidate, apologized over allegations that she took advantage of public servants and spent government money during her husband's term as a provincial governor. The candidate of the main opposition party, Yoon Suk-yeol, and his wife Kim Kyun-hee have also apologized for her use of an inaccurate resume when she applied for teaching jobs years ago.
Japan welcomes Taiwan's step to ease nuclear disaster-related food import ban.
The Japanese government welcomes Taiwan's announcement to relax ban on food imports from Japan put in place after 2011 Fukushima nuclear disaster.
今般の台湾の決定は
President Tsai Ing-wen says, writing on her Facebook page about the cabinet's decision to relax the ban, Taiwan had to go global and stand in the world by joining bodies like Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership. Taiwan last year applied to join the CPTPP, of which Japan is member. Japan has already expressed support for Taiwan joining the CPTPP. Taiwan banned imports of food products from 5 prefectures in Japan following a meltdown at the Fukushima nuclear plant that was triggered by a huge earthquake and tsunami. Taiwan had maintained the ban despite repeated complaints from Japan, which says the food is now safe. Japan, like most countries, has no formal diplomatic relations with Chinese-claimed Taiwan, but the two have moved closer as Beijing ramps up its military activity near both Taiwan and Japan.
China plans to make over 50 space launches in 2022 with debut of new carrier rockets.
According to a blue book over China's aerospace issues, China plans to make more than 50 space launches in 2022, with new carrier rockets including Long March 6A and Smart Dragon 3 about to make their maiden flights within the year. Based on the 2021 Blue Book of China Aerospace Science and Technology Activities, published by China Aerospace Science and Technology Corporation, new carrier rockets such as Long March 6A and Smart Dragon 3 are about to make their maiden flights in 2022. In addition, the construction of China's space station will be completed in 6 missions, including the launch of 2 Tianzhou cargo spacecraft, 2 Shenzhou manned spaceships, as well as Wentian and Mengtian lab modules. The Blue Book shows that over 140 spacecraft will be launched within the year, including several satellites for civil spatial infrastructure, on-land detection, atmospheric environmental monitoring, and carbon monitoring. The launch missions of the above-mentioned satellites will meet the application requirements in national resources, ecological environment, rescue relief, and other fields.
China's mainland reports 73rd new local COVID-19 cases and 37 imports.
The National Health Commission says it is daily reports the Chinese mainland reports 73 new locally transmitted COVID-19 cases. The Commission adds, of the new local cases, 72 were reported in the Guangxi Zhuang Autonomous Region in South China and 1 in Liaoning Province in the northeast. According to the Commission, also reports are 37 new imported cases in 7 provincial level regions, including 18 in Guangdong, 9 in Shanghai, 5 in Guangxi, 2 in Fujian, 1 each in Beijing, Tianjin, and Sichuan. No new deaths and new suspected cases were reported on the day. A total of 12,825 imported cases had been reported on the mainland. Among them, 12,159 had been discharged from hospital following recovery, while 666 remained hospitalized, with 1 in severe conditions. The total number of confirmed COVID-19 cases on the mainland had reached 106,634, including 1,495 patients still receiving treatment, of whom 4 were in severe conditions.
And that's the whole news for today. Thanks for watching. Have a lovely weekdays ahead.